All right. It's time to talk about SmackDown exclusively on the Wrestle Plug YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. I am Aaron X, and joining me to discuss the blue brand, quite rapidly, it has to be said, is Kyle Wilkinson.
Yeah, we'll still try and make it fun and entertaining for you, but let's be honest, there wasn't a whole lot to dig into tonight.
Yeah, let's start with the most important thing, and that is that Sonya Deville, how could you do this to our boy Otis? Yeah, we knew it was coming, but the truth is finally out, and what we assume is the new Mustafa Rally hacker character made himself known. We actually got a glimpse of him, we just didn't see who he was under the hood, but it certainly looks like it's Mustafa Rally, and he blew the whistle. And he blew it wide open when it comes to Sonya Deville, Otis, Tucker, and the like. So yeah, footage of Sonya Deville sending those texts via her phone and Mandy Rose being heartbroken. Yeah, this rivalry between Otis and Dolph Ziggler intensifies going into WrestleMania, and I got to be honest, I'm thrilled.
Yeah, absolutely. Second biggest emotional investment I have going into Mania, other than Edge Orton. Like you said, we all knew that it was going to be Sonya and Dolph in some sort of shenanigans. But I think, to Mandy's credit and Sonya's actually, they both acted like their facial expressions and stuff I thought were very well done. Especially like Sonya just like having her hands up in front of her face after the misdeed had been revealed. I thought that was pretty cool. I'm excited for Ali's new character. Hopefully that is who it is. Actually, it's not even hopefully. I'm almost 100% sure. Like, you see the blue lights in the circle that was, like, on his gauntlet. That's pretty much a dead giveaway, in my opinion. So, I think that'll be really cool. There was a match between Dolph and Tucker that, I mean, it was all right, I guess. It seemed to serve its purpose, at least to help further the story for Otis. Hopefully just pulverizing Dolph into some sort of small potato and him winning and getting the girl at the end. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what our boy Otis deserves. And it'd be a crying shame if Mandy decides to just like swift kick him in the dick. I'm really excited about this, and I got to say, and I spoke to you while we were watching it together, I think Otis and Tucker as well have been amazing. You know, I've been quite negative and bashing a lot of things about WWE recently, but this is something that's been really good. It's been absolutely faultless. I think back to Elimination Chamber and the facial expressions and the facial acting involved. Do you know what really fucking winds me up? I'm not going to turn this into a full-on John Cena bashing session again, because I've already just done that on State Wrestling Address, but for me, like, you know, people talk so much about, oh, John Cena's such a good actor and he's got such great facials, and I don't think he's close to some of the other workhorses on this show, and Otis for me is fantastic. His sense of innocence, he's, you know, and the way Tucker looks at him genuinely with such care, I think it's actually phenomenal. These guys make me believe that this is legitimately how they feel. It's fantastic. It's so good. Otis, the way he was trying to protect Tucker after the zigzag on the steel steps, and you know, and also going back to the Elimination Chamber where Tucker was trying to help Otis out. He was trying to get the crowd going. He's like, "Come on, give it up for my boy," after everything that he went through, and you know, being smashed through the cell and everything. Like, I think they have been since, I don't know, I'd say since. Basically since this thing started, since Valentine's Day essentially, I think Tucker and Otis have been the MVPs of WWE. I really do. I think the work they've put in, the difference of it, and Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville actually add value, and I mean, it says a lot, doesn't it, about Dolph Ziggler, that he's probably more over as a heel than he's ever been, and he still hasn't really done fuck all to deserve it. All he's done is steal a woman on a date. That's basically it. Like, all those things he did to get over as a heel, didn't really work. But him him stealing Otis's woman. How dare you, son of a bitch! And yeah, no, I've got to say this is easily the highlight of what's going on the SmackDown side of things, because SmackDown has been woefully mismanaged. So I'm thrilled for it. I really am. I'll tell you what I'm not thrilled for though, and that is John Cena. I am so sick of this. So he comes out and he cuts his promo and basically, hi, I'm John Cena. Like, he just comes across as like Barney. He's just, 2 + 2 is 4. Like, it just, the whole thing is really tacky. He's starting to age a bit, which is fine. We all do. But, you know, you're, 40 years old plus out there, and you're wearing lime green with jorts and a trucker cap that looks like it hasn't seen the light of day for 10 years since it was taken from the young childish victim. Like, seriously, right? Like, the promo wasn't horrific, but it wasn't good. And I'm so sick of opening up Twitter and seeing people going, oh my God, that was amazing by John Cena. Oh my God, that was such a great promo. No, it wasn't. It was a fucking awful promo. He made some joke about Wiz Khalifa. Oh, you're fucking edgy, aren't you, mate? Like, he talked about Bray Wyatt dressing like some bootleg, you know, fucking, what was it, Kenny Rogers or something? Like, just, no idea.
Mr. Rogers, I believe.
Mr. Rogers, not Kenny Rogers. Sorry, I'm pretty sure Kenny Rogers is a country music musician. But ultimately, you know, he made, this was classic John Cena. Make some childish, dumb shit jokes, and then for the last 10 seconds of the promo, act as if I'm an hard man who's ready for a fight. You know, he looks embarrassing. I'm sorry, but you're embarrassing, mate. The state of what you're wearing. Like, fine. When he was younger, you could tolerate it, but come on. This is a joke. Lime green t-shirts and jorts and trainers, you look like trash. And it winds me up when everyone's like, oh, John Cena, he's like the company guy. Really? I think he's an embarrassment. I think the way he dresses is an embarrassment. I think he should take himself more seriously. And people will say, well, fuck you, you don't know anything. It's like, well, that's fair enough. It's understandable. And he makes a lot of money via his merchandise. But there's nothing to say that he can't wear a t-shirt and then just like normal wrestling gear. Imagine how cool John Cena would look in, you know, tights with knee pads, you know, the Edge kind of style tights with the knee pads underneath and boots. And I think he'd look fucking great. I think he'd look absolutely fantastic. But we'll never know because he makes too much money. I mean, is that not indicative of what is wrong with WWE in this day and age? That this is, you know, a superstar. This is your biggest star. Like, no, terrible. But I will say one thing, the interactions with Bray Wyatt were fantastic. I absolutely adore the editing and the way it was done. You know, I don't want to be that guy who rips on AEW because I like AEW, but this was a lot better than Matt Hardy teleporting around the Jacksonville Stadium. This was good. This was good stuff. I enjoyed the ending to this show, but as much as I enjoyed it, and I also love seeing Ramblin' Rabbit and the gang kind of taunting John Cena, I still don't feel like this is a match I needed to see, and even less so when there's no audience or no real participation whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, I said this to you when we were watching it. John Cena right now, the way he's dressed, the way he's aging, he just looks like a dad that took his hot daughter to a high school dance and is a chaperone and just looks really confused about what he should be doing. He's just He's just kind of like there. Now, yeah, the stuff with The Fiend and Bray at the end was fucking, I really enjoyed that. Like that last 30 seconds, just the intense stare down, and then Bray just coming up next to him going, let me in. And then John, he's like straightening his t-shirt just as the show's going out the air, like straightening his like, oh shit, eh? That just happened. I thought that was pretty neat, but the promo itself, I didn't really care about. Yeah, fucking The Rock had it right in, what was it, 2012? Wearing Fruity Pebbles shirts and all that bullshit. I didn't care. The match will be fine, I guess. Did Cena even accept the match? I don't even remember if he said yes. Is it just going to happen now? Thanks for the fucking continuity, WWE. You have no one in the audience to like distract you guys from remembering to say that shit. But you know what? It's cool. It's fine. You're doing your best, kid, and that's all that matters. Christ.
Yeah, fuck off. That's all I got to say about that. I have no interest in John Cena, and the way he comes out, it's just pathetic. I actually saw some dickhead, I'm not going to name them because they don't deserve it, but some guy on Twitter is saying that this feels like a WrestleMania 13 situation with Bret Hart versus Austin, like where it should be the main event, but it's not. Yeah, I genuinely almost fucking lost my shit. I've got to be honest, that is like, that for me must be one of the dumbest tweets I think I've ever seen. I will not give pricks like that the light of day. Fucking embarrass yourself further, you fucking absolute twat burger. It is what it is. So yeah, a little bit of house cleaning before we wrap it all up. Tamina versus Naomi. Poor old Naomi just can't catch a break, can she? Despite being arguably one of their most underappreciated and fantastic talents they have, she lost to Tamina in a pretty bad match. I've got to be honest, I think Tamina, I don't like being this guy. I really don't, because especially when it comes to women's wrestling, but Tamina is not good and has not been good for a long time, and she's getting more heavyset, which is fine. I have no problem with that. We're not about body shaming here. I don't give a shit how she looks, but you know, for the size of her and the power that she has, like, she is really clunky and really sluggish and very unimposing for someone of her size. She's clearly got a size advantage, and you know, Michael Cole can work as hard as he can on the heads. He's like, this woman, she feels like the dark horse. Really? In what sense? Where did you pull that from? She's literally done nothing her entire career. You know, and it's made worse by the fact that Dad's a murderer. Just saying. But it is what it is. Like,
did it?
Boom! Yeah, we dropped the dynamite here with the AEW dynamite. I just don't care. This women's match looks terrible. I think Bayley and Sasha are unbearable on commentary, although Sasha Banks is certainly not unbearable to look at, has to be said. Lacey Evans, well, wickedly underrated, in my opinion, actually. Really like Lacey Evans, but this is by far and away the worst of the women's matches. The tag teams as well, obviously, hyped themselves up. A nice little brawl broke out with them. You know, they've got a lot of potential, should be quite exciting. You know, that's the match that I'm most looking forward to watching. But for a go-home show, bearing in mind WrestleMania is tomorrow, aka or today, I thought it was really lackluster. I really did. I thought this was a pretty boring episode of SmackDown. And to be honest, the highlight of it was watching back that magnificent retirement match for Ric Flair at WrestleMania 2008, of course. I think it was WrestleMania 22. Just a
24.
masterpiece, not 24. Excuse me, terrible. 24. It was just masterful, and it was lovely to watch that back in its full glory and that. But yeah, there were some good things on this SmackDown, but it felt like it was pretty tedious. You know, you had Daniel Bryan as well versus Shinsuke Nakamura, which is fine. It's funny, isn't it, that, you know, that was a forgettable match. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Daniel Bryan. 10 years ago, the internet would have gone into meltdown over this. And here we are, 10 years later, and nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, like, the match was what you would expect, you know. Nakamura is not an awful wrestler. It's just, we've talked about this before, he hasn't translated well to the American style of sports entertainment as opposed to, you know, Japanese strong style, because they're completely different. Like, if you watch a New Japan show and then you watch a WWE show, they're completely different in every sense of the word. But, you know, again, the match was still good, you know, good transitions between the holds, like not a lot of rest holds or any of that kind of stuff, but it was just, yeah, I didn't care. And that's a huge fucking problem when it's Daniel Bryan. You know, him and Drew Gulak, I think, are a fantastic pairing. And this is a great way to finally get some eyes on Drew Gulak for all those ignorant motherfuckers who haven't been doing that beforehand. Shame on all of you. But I don't know. Like, the highlight was still definitely watching Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair. Because if you just put that in its own little time bubble and you forget that Flair went to TNA and still wrestled Mick Foley and did a whole bunch of stuff in TNA.
It for me.
It's still real to me, damn it. Yeah, don't think about any of that. Just look at this in the bubble and go, man, even at 62 or 63, however old Ric Flair was at the time, he still put on a fucking great match, and not just because he was in the ring with one of, arguably the best performers that's ever stepped foot in the squared circle. He still has some juice in the fucking tank, and he pulled out a fantastic match. We could talk about this match all night, probably. Let's not get too carried away.
Yeah, no question. I'm also really enjoying the fact that on Twitter right now, and I'm sure you probably, you will see it at some point, a lot of people are likening the possible debut of Mustafa Rally, that character with the hood on, to Arrow, Stephen Amell's Arrow. A lot of people suggesting that it should be Stephen Amell making his return after his match at SummerSlam. So, there's that too. So social media never fails to...
He's too good friends with Cody. He was at fucking the last AEW show. He was in Cody's corner against MJF. Or like in his little posse when he came out.
Cody's corner. If that doesn't scream of a TV segment they should do, then I don't know what was. Fair enough. It is what it is. SmackDown is what it is. But hey, maybe you guys enjoyed it. Maybe you guys have some thoughts on it. Maybe you thought more of it than we did. And if you did, leave it in the comments below. And most importantly, make sure that you like, subscribe, and check out all our social media content at Wrestle Plug, wherever you may be. But most importantly, make sure you hit the bell icon so you can get notifications, because we've got loads of content coming up, and we'll be covering Wrestlemania 36 as well. Carl Wilkinson, thanks for joining me, brother.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure, as always.
My pleasure, sir. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, #GetPluggedIn.